and my girlfriend of over 30 years, Jane, although she hasn't really contributed to my career. No, I'm saying this is sort of all me. In fact, thinking about it, she has done fuck all.
Hello, Tiny Tim.
Hello. Oh. I bet it looks even worse from that angle.
Keep going. Right.
See?
Yeah, no.
There's a body in the boot of the car.
Right.
Who do you call for help and why? Gordon Ramsay, Kate Winslet, or Ross Kemp?
Winslet's out.
OK.
With my back, I need a big, strong bloke to help me.
I was in a restaurant, right? And it was a lovely restaurant, right? It was nice and quiet. I'd eat about 6 p.m, so it's nice and quiet. And the waiter came over, and every time he sort of walked back and forth, he just went...
Ramsay would try and cook it. Take his shirt off. Gordon, put your shirt on.
It's not a kebab, Gordon.
Yeah. Stop drawing attention to yourself. Kids are scroungers, aren't they? I mean, from day one, it's all me, isn't it? Feed me, clothe me, pay for my chemotherapy.
Ricky, can we look at a picture of you in your pop career?
Which one's which?
I'm not embarrassed by that. I'm embarrassed by this. Everyone's going, what the fuck happened?
You're on trial in Thailand.
Never gonna happen. Right.
Who do you choose to be your defence lawyer?
Right.
And why?
Right.
Steve Carell,
Yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson,
Yeah.
or Stephen Merchant?
I think Steve Carell.
I think you've chosen wisely.
He owes me.
Can you do this?
No!
All right, stand next to me.
Okay.
Stand next to me.
Right.
Stand just right here next to me.
Yeah,
Which one's the American?
Jane thought she'd made a new friend, but it was just a shadow. Jane thinking about making new friends. Jane is looking so happy because her new friend hasn't walked away yet. But does she not know you're doing it? Does she not think, where is he? Where is he?
She sees the tweet.
I love English graveyards.
Yeah, they're great.
Does remind us.
Well, it is. That it's finite, and all the things we care about now mean fuck all. They mean nothing.
The things that people have got furious with you about.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the fullness of time.
Oh, they love me when I'm dead. We talked about nothing but our balls for about 6. Is that true?
And here comes Mr. Bennell with his big balls. And here comes Mr. Gervais with his suspiciously round balls.
You know, that's why a comedian should be fat and old and ugly. Because if you're young and beautiful...
yourself.
No, not you. No, not you. No, what I mean is, I've died.
Go on.
No, I've really done it.
Just found this photo of Jane when she was little. There had to be a gift. You must have given her a gift after that.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's what being in a relationship for 30 years does.
I mean, there's no better thing in the world. Not a car, not money, not a house. A dog, it's fucking amazing. It's 15 years of joy and then terrible sadness. Tell me your names and where you're from.
My name is Daniel, and I'm from Atlanta, Georgia.
And why do you want this job?
I wanted this job because you're amazing,
Thank you.
and I get paid.
That's exactly why I took the job. One little girl just went to me, "Are you married?" And I said, "No, but I've been with the same girl for like 30 years. She went, "Why don't you propose to her then?"
And then another little girl said, you should get her a ring, because you ain't that special. We were outside in the graveyard. I think Bob was having a cigarette, right? And our Uncle Mick came along, and we hadn't seen Uncle Mick for, like, about 20 years, right? And this old man, he went, hello, boys. And Bob sort of looked at him and recognised him and sort of went, Jesus, like that, right? And then Bob looked around the graveyard and said, is there any point you going home? Time a journalist says that how much is a pint of milk, I'm going to say, here's £1,000, run and get me one. What have I got?
What have you got?
That's all I've got on me.
That'll do. Thank you. Thank you very much.
He's actually taken it. And then he came up to Bob's window again, and he had one of those sort of mirrors with a stick on it, just looking under the car like that. And as he did that, his helmet fell off. And out of the helmet fell, like, 20 cigarettes. And the copper just went, oh, just being nice. He just said to Bob, I bet you always wonder what we kept under our helmets. And Bob went, I knew it wasn't brains.
Someone said to me once on Twitter, without a God, you don't believe in God, then why don't you just go out and rape and murder as much as you want? And I said, I do, which is not at all.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I have a conscience. Why would I? If you're not murdering someone because you think God's watching you, you're not a good person. You're just scared of the consequences.
That's the only...
I don't care. No, don't worry about being dead. So you don't know about it. That's the best thing about being dead. You don't know about it. It's like being stupid. It's only painful for others. So I don't care. I don't care. I don't care.
Go to the pharmacist because I mean they're hugely underused within the
underrated experts. They are the experts in side effects in all medications. So unless you're really
you can't do a
seriously
prostate
unwell,
exam though in boots, can you?
You do a lot though, can't you?
last time I looked, your prostate wasn't a medicine.
There's a party going on right here. A celebration to last throughout the years. So bring your good times and your laughter too.
Yes, she makes bread from her yeast from a certain part of her anatomy. And she also makes rice puddings out of her own breast milk, right?
Yeah.
Both those are true stories.
True stories.
Yeah. Not people I met. No.
Are you sure?
It's not restaurants I go to.
We're gonna celebrate and party with you. Come on! The bring good times. Come on!
Hello and welcome to The One Show with Matt Baker.
And Alex Jones. Now, tonight's guest shot to fame when he humiliated Mackenzie Crook in The Office.
Went on to ridicule George Michael in Extras.
And thought nothing of insulting half of Hollywood at the Golden Globes.
But for some reason, the stars keep coming back for more.
Do you have any idea who my leading lady is on this film?
In the Tim Burton film?
Yeah.
Helena Bonham Carter?
How'd you know?
Stab in the dark.
She thinks you're an idiot.
Sorry, have I done something to offend you?
What do you mean, like trashing me in front of like 200 million people at the Golden Globes?
It's Ricky Gervais!
It's that classic line in there, have I done something to offend you? Which basically, I mean, do you ever worry that you are offending those that you really like?
No, because I know I am. It's guaranteed I'm going to offend someone. But just because, you're offended doesn't mean you're right, does it? I mean, I think that goes to show that he wasn't offended. This is the funny thing.
Well, he turned up to do the show, didn't he?
People are saying, that's part of the reason I got him in it, because everyone's going, Johnny Depp was so offended. No, he wasn't. I called him up and he went, it was funny, it was great. I get this once a week, someone saying that I've offended someone else usually. It's always someone offended on someone else's behalf, and it's ridiculous. Of course he's not offended. He's the richest, most handsome man in the world. Why is he going to care about a fat bloke from Reading not liking the tourist?
Well, we'll be talking more about the new show and the big stars that are in it a little bit later on.
Yeah. But first, Simon Boseman is in a sleepy...
Aren't he going past Alston? A very remote area on the rickshaw?
On my rickshaw, I am, yes. As we
good
were
luck.
saying, it's so high, so remote, they expect snowplows. I don't know if I'll have a snowplow on the
You'll
front
be
end.
all right.
Yeah, it's going to be high. Anyway, thanks, Simon, for that. Ricky, are you into community spirit? Are you big on that?
As long as they leave me alone, yeah. They can't get past the gates and the lasers and the dogs. I've got shutters on the windows. I often hide, pretending I'm out if someone comes to the door. But yeah, I say, yeah, get on with it.
Okay.
Brilliant. Good luck, everyone. Good luck, everyone.
There's an image of you in waders cleaning out the local pond in the park, but maybe not.
That won't happen.
That will never happen.
Oh, you know, I'd do anything to do with nature, yeah. I'd get involved. I love stuff to do with wildlife and nature.
Okay.
It's just talking to anyone else that I don't like.
Fair enough.
Love animals. It's the people that annoy me.
people.
Yeah.
Well, earlier on, we saw a clip of Johnny Depp in your new series, Life's Too Short. Tell us a bit about that.
It's a fake documentary, about a return to the fake documentary format, rather like The Office, but it's moved on because documentaries have moved on. I suppose The Office reflected those quaint docu-soaps of the 90s with normal people being famous, like David Brent. But modern documentaries, reality shows, they're much more about C and D-list celebrities living their life like an open wound. And it's more like that. Do you know what I mean? It's like the fictional Warwick Davis. You know, it's a complete character. It's nothing like real Warwick Davis. In real life, Warwick is a great actor. He's brilliant. He's lovely. He's so rounded. I've never heard him complain about it. He's just great. In this, he's manipulative. He's got a chip on his shoulder. It's not half an hour of height gags. It's nothing to do with that. It's more that he's got small man complex. So it's about him being angry with the world. And, you know, he exploits other dwarves. He runs an agency in this. He takes all the acting jobs for himself, but he rents those out as bowling balls and things. So it's about that, really.
Well, we've got a moment from the first episode where he comes to see you and Stephen Merchant as well. And it's lovely. He has to charm a member of the public because he can't quite reach the intercom.
I've never seen you, bruv. What films you been in?
Have you seen Return of the Jedi?
Who was you in that?
It was an Ewok.
Those little bears?
Not little bears.
Bruv, they're little bears.
Right, have you seen Willow?
No.
Just press the buzzer, please.
Look at that. Comedy legends there. Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant. Little mate, aren't we? Always popping round for a chat.
You are always popping round, yeah. I thought we made the buzzer high enough, but...
No, now I've got a passerby to press it.
Passerby. We didn't think of everything.
Would see it as a bit un-PC. I mean, especially a hilarious bit when Warwick falls out the car. But how do you keep it on the right side?
I don't know what this is of this. It's un-PC. Well, they're already saying that, and I haven't seen it. They straight away assume it's going to be offensive because there's a dwarf involved. Well, that's their problem. That's their prejudice. They're assuming it's going to be cruel. I mean, and nothing can be further from the truth, as I say. But I don't know. There's no harm can come of discussing taboo subjects. That's why they're a problem with them, because they're taboo. If you talk about stuff intelligently, then I think problem is some people always confuse the target of a joke with the subject of a joke. You can talk about anything. You can talk about race, disability, as long as you know what you're doing with it. People are always going to be offended. They're always going to be offended, and there's nothing you can do about that.
No.
You know.
And on that point as well, I mean, you recently offended quite a few people with disabilities on Twitter.
Recently,
Which
always.
You apologise.
I offend someone once a week, but you've got to just carry on with what you're doing. I look at it in a quite Darwinian framework. You do what you do, and you either survive or you don't. I think if you keep trying to please everyone, you won't do anything. Nothing will be said, because some people are offended by equality. Some people are offended by abortion. I'm not. I'm offended by those people. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? So at least watch it first. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
And if you don't like it, don't watch it again. Don't write me a letter. No one's listening.
Well, I mean, but you're not afraid of laughing at yourself either, because recently...
but very often I am the butt of the joke.
Yeah.
It's my stupidity. It's me getting stuff wrong. You
Exactly.
know?
I mean, Curb Your Enthusiasm is a good example of that.
Of course, that's it's you only deal in excruciating social faux pas in that, and sort of taboo subject, and that's what's funny because it's usually about our middle class angst. It's usually about our fear. Warwick, when he talks to people, he knows they're trying to avoid using the word little or small in just normal conversation, and he finds it hilarious. He wants to go to them, chill out. Yeah. It's all right, you know.
Yeah.
Well, let's just have a little look at you in action in that clip. This is you with Larry David. Go.
Thanks so much
Little
for
gift.
coming. Oh my God, I can't believe this. Signed. The funniest show in the history of television.
It was
I
funny.
love this show.
I wouldn't call it the funniest show in the history of television.
I would laugh. This show was hilarious.
No doubt about it.
I
Funny
mean,
show.
hilarious.
History of television?
Seinfeld, lovely show.
Well, thank you. It was good. It was good, yeah.
Oh, no, I love broad comedy.
Yeah.
I will treasure this, Ricky.
I like the laugh track on it.
So happy he's
reminds
here.
you when to
So
laugh.
excited.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't do one.
But
Yeah.
actually, it's a
Good,
very funny
successful.
show.
Thank
It's just
you.
odd to just show up with your own DVD.
Yeah.
I've never heard of somebody who's in something and then showing up with it.
You've never heard of that?
No. It's an odd thing.
A war with words. Didn't take you long to try and turn the tables on him there, but...
All improv.
Yeah.
All
What's
ad-lib. All ad-lib.
Really?
Yeah. You just go with it and you film it a few times and it was great doing that. Not only is he a bit of a hero of mine, I think probably the most important person working in comedy today, but he ruins as many takes as I do.
Yeah.
We were just both laughing. When I was like, we'd go, okay, stop. Honestly, it was great. One of the highlights of my career. Such a pleasure. And when you go out with dinner, to dinner with Larry David, it's like a 2-hour episode of Curb for free. It's just, he's great. I can't get enough of him.
Yeah, well, many people may not have heard of Slough until Ricky here put it on the map with The Office, but 60 years ago this week, Berkshire earned its stripes when it became home to the very first zebra crossing.
Even on the day, on the way to the red carpet, or in the limo, just to wind her up, I said, oh, I'm going to start off with a funny little one-liner, just an old-fashioned joke. She went, oh, what? I said, what did the deaf, dumb and blind orphan get for Christmas? And Jane went, I don't know. I said, cancer.
Socrates said that fame is the perfume of heroic deeds. Fame is the perfume of heroic deeds. Well, it probably was back then. There was no Heat magazine and Big Brother. You actually had to do something to become famous. You were a great scholar or a leader of men. And all the way through history, that was the case. 500 years ago, the most famous man on the planet was Leonardo da Vinci because of all the great things he did. He was a painter. He was an inventor. Oh, go on, mate. Sorry. I can't do one-on-one. It's a big place. In a much smaller room, I'd still ignore you, cunt. Shush.
I fell back in love with stand-up on my last tour, Humanity. I played arenas around the world. Netflix bought it for a record amount. It was the most watched special of the year. I thought, everyone loves me now. Everyone loves me now. Then I got this tweet. Real tweet. Call yourself a comedian? He knows I do. Literally says the word in my Twitter bio. Call yourself a comedian? You're about as funny as... Now, I thought he was going to go for the jugular and say Miranda, or... Come on. Come on, guys. Don't... I'm joking. Right. Call yourself a comedian? You're about as funny as a fart at a baby's funeral. He was trying to hurt my feelings. But his big mistake was choosing something that would be fucking hilarious. As if that would... A fart at a baby's funeral. Big echoey church. Everyone just silently sobbing like that. Tiny little coffin. Tiny little coffin. And someone farts, you'd laugh. Even if it was your baby. You know, no. If you're at the funeral, it's been dead a week, do you know what I mean? You're probably up for a giggle. Particularly if you're the father. If you're the mother, you probably still find it hard seeing the funny side of things. But I'm a considered comedian. I like my jokes to be accurate and my targets to be fair. So I was engaging these people. I was saying, why is it transphobic? And they were saying, it's about a trans person. I said, well, that's ridiculous. That's like saying a joke about Bill Cosby is automatically racist. It depends on the joke. But I was talking to them, I'm willing to learn, and I found out my crime was that I dead-named her. Now, I'd never heard that term, you know, before a day after the Golden Globes, and that was saying her old name, and even acknowledging that she used to be a man. But she did. I saw him on the Olympic Games. It was decathlete. It was in everything. He was all over the place. Shot put and pole vault. He won a medal. He was famous. He was on telly all the time. But, you know, a big, famous man with a huge... I don't know, but I mean, I'm guessing he's a big... But I've learnt my lesson. Now, I'd never dead name her now. Now I know it's wrong. I'd never dead name her now. But, like, years ago... when, you know, she was a man. That was years ago, I'm saying, right? And she went to the doctor, right? And knocked on the door, and the doctor went, come in. This is years ago. I was saying, I'd never dead name her now, but this is like a flashback before anyone... Do you know what So, like, come in. And he went, hello, Bruce Jenner, because that was his name then. The doctor, you know, this was years ago, and the doctor went... Oh, I'm Bruce Jenner, you big old... How you doing, boy, you fucker? How you doing? You big old lunt. Oh, how you doing, boy? Come here, you fucker. How you doing, Brucey boy? You all right? Right? And Bruce Jenner, because that was his name, this is years ago, right? So, Bruce Jenner went, yeah, not too bad, doctor, yeah. Not too bad, right? And I said, what can I do for you, Bruce? You fucker. How you doing, boy? And Bruce Jenner went, because that was his name, Bruce Jenner went, look at that. And they went, oh, come on, Bruce Jenner, you know the rules. He uses his whole name every time for some reason, I don't know why. Come on, Bruce Jenner, you fucker, you know the rules. You can't bring your big old pole vaulting pole in here, mate, you know. And Bruce Jenner went, no, that's not my pole vaulting pole, that's my enormous penis. And I thought, oh, right, yeah, seeing as it is your penis, you can bring it in here. But you should have left your shot puts outside. And Bruce Jenner went, that was his name for 58 years, I think. He went, no, they're not my shot puts, they're my enormous testicles. That's where I keep my testosterone and my spunk and shit, right? And the doctor went, oh, yeah, that makes perfect. I'm a medical man, and that you're a big bloke. Oh, you fucker. How you doing, boy? You're a big... You're big, and you would have a big old cock and balls. They're beautiful. They're a bit familiar, isn't it? And I go, no, but you must be very proud of them, Bruce. Bruce Jenner went, oh, this is going to surprise you, doctor. I want to get rid of them. And the doctor went, what? Why? Oh, they get in the way. Get in the way of what? Fucking driving, for one thing.
I went to school with this guy, right? He was a div kid. No, he was. I talk about him on my other two stand-up shows. His name was David Beasley. He's the one that said, if you get captured by cannibals, when they're cooking you in the pot, they show you pornographic pictures so you get an erection and there's more meat to go round. Oh. But he told me a very funny story as well. There was a scandal in this sort of neighbourhood. A guy a few doors away from him that was older than him, an older boy, had got done for lewd behaviour. He was cottaging. He was a gay guy. And he'd gone down to this public toilet in Cemetery Junction, which is an area of Reading. And he'd gone into this cubicle, got the hole there, and he was waiting. People were coming in and out. He waited for ages, and eventually someone came in, heard the rustling. Cock comes through. Ooh. He grabbed it. They can't get away then. I guess. I've never tried it. I don't. He sucked him off. What do you think he was going to do? Play London's Burning? Of course. This dental floss is big. Of course he's going to. So, he got him. He sucked him off. And when they both went outside, it was his dad. Oh. All the Colgate... So I shouldn't pay out? No, don't fucking pay him a penny, son. No. Brilliant, brilliant. While I've got you here, did you make a tree fall on Steve Baxter's car? There's a lot of Steve Baxters. Steve Baxter, 2 Acacia Road, Hounslow. It happened at 2:15 on the 3rd of June this year. 2:15, 3rd of June. No, that wasn't me. I was in Africa that day giving AIDS to babies. He does everything. He does everything. Now, you're not to know this, but I am usually in my pyjamas by 6 p.m. I come home from work, the telly goes on, the pyjamas go on. Even if there's company, it's, you know what I mean, my house, my rules, pyjamas on. And if we've got, you know, relatives round, Jane says, oh, not the ones with the holes in, that's all she asks. Do you know what I mean? You don't need your mother-in-law, when you bend over, it's like the last chicken in the window going, he's got a tumour. You know what I mean? It's just, no. But you don't want to throw them away. Your pyjamas, they get nicer with age. They get soft, don't they? And they fit you just right. No one's going to see them. I actually invented a game with an old pair of pyjamas with a hole in them. No, you know when it gets sort of really thin, the gusset, then suddenly a little hole appears. You get like a 1/4 of an inch sort of hole. And when blokes are watching telly, we sort of doodle. Do you know what I mean? I don't know why. It's sort of like a comfort thing. I think it's anthropological. I think chimps do it. Not on me, on them. I don't... No good to me, they haven't got opposable thumbs or anything, so... I've never tried to get a chimp to wank me off, so let's nip that one in the bud. And I discovered, right, that if I pulled out miscellaneous bits of skin, right... No, could be a bit of scrotal sac, could be a hint of foreskin. You only put it out 1/2 inch, you've got to guess which... It's called offal Jim Jam. No. And you just pull it out, just 1/2 inch, right? And you turn to your girlfriend and you go, offal Jim Jam, cock or ball? It might be genius. There's no reincarnation, no ghost, no heaven, I believe. People can't get over that. People quiz me on Twitter when they find out I'm an atheist. They go, what, you don't believe in God at all? I go, no. Do you pray? I go, no. They go, why don't you pray just in case there's a God? And I say, why don't you put garlic over your door just in case there's a Dracula? Right? And I've got no problem with praying, you know. I know loads of nice Christians and Muslims and Jews, and if one of my family is very ill, they always say, oh, I'll pray for them. And I always say, oh, thanks very much, because it's a nice gesture. If they said, oh, we also cancelled the chemotherapy, I go, don't do that, don't do that. Pray, fill your boots, son, but let's do the praying and the chemotherapy, shall we? Because that's the same result as just the chemotherapy. So let's definitely keep that one, shall we? I got in trouble talking about praying on Twitter once. Do you remember a few years ago that terrible disaster in Oklahoma, the hurricane? People lost their lives and their livelihood, and I donated to the Red Cross, and I tweeted about it with a link saying you can donate here too, trying to help them with their drive. And one of those sort of frivolous entertainment magazines from America, their account tweeted this thing. It really annoyed me. They tweeted, Beyonce and Rihanna send prayers to Oklahoma. And I tweeted back going, oh, I feel like a cunt, I only sent money. Someone tweeted me once, would you come to the bedside of a dying child and tell them there's no heaven? I tweeted back, is it a paid gig? I prefer dogs, obviously. Dogs are better people than people, aren't they? They're amazing dogs. They're our best friends, they guard us, they guide us. There's medical detection dogs that can smell if you've got, like, AIDS. I'm not a doctor, but their noses are like 1,000 times more sensitive than ours, so they sort of go, poor, you're well HIV, fuck, you know. And you go, you can smell AIDS on someone. Yeah, yeah. Then why didn't you smell it on the bloke I brought home last night then, you fucking idiot? They did the first 3 billion years by themselves, evolution and all that.
And then we got involved and we did a bit of selective breeding, you know, getting them how we wanted them to do jobs for us, you know, a bit more of that, a bit stronger, faster, whatever. And they're great at the jobs they're bred to do, and they love the job they're bred to do because they're genetically hardwired to love that behaviour anyway. Although the Rhodesian Ridgeback was bred to hunt lions, and I can't help but think that was a little bit of a shock to it when it found out. So we've done all the breeding, all the different pedigrees, all thousands, all the miles around, a big passing out parade. There's a bloke in a square with a white coat and a clipboard, and he goes, right, dogs. And they all go, what? Who wants to know what jobs they've got? We all do. Right. Okay, Labradors. Yeah? Do you like carefully bringing back dead ducks? Yeah. That's your job. Amazing. That is amazing. That is my favourite job. That is my favourite job. Jack Russells. Yeah. Do you like shooting down rabbit holes after... Yeah. That's your job. Fucking hell. Best day ever. Best day ever. Miniature poodles. Yeah. Do you like being carried around by elderly homosexuals? Yeah. That's your job. That's your job. Ridgebacks. Yo. You're hunting lions. What? You're hunting lions. Fuck off. Yeah, you are. No, we're not. Lions? We get fucking mashed. Why can't the Rottweilers hunt lions? They're shaking babies. Good boy. Good boy. You shake that baby if you want. Good boy. Cheers. To be quite political, growing up, that 15, 16-year-old becoming aware, and, well, you did it to annoy your parents, obviously, but I think we're inundated with politics from an early age. I think everything is charged with politics and morality and the way to live. It's in everything, fables, nursery rhymes, little sayings. I remember I must have been as young as 6 when we used to have an assembly at school, an infant school. We'd all come in every Monday and sit down on the floor, cross-legged, and our deputy headmaster used to come and tell us a story. And it always had a moral that we were meant to think about, and this would make us into leaders of men, character building. And he used to take ages over it, and he loved it. It was his best day, you know. And I remember he told us about the 2 mice, the lazy mouse and the industrious mouse. And it was summer, and these 2 little mice were out in the woods. The sun was out, the streams were babbling, there was flowers, there were berries, there were nuts, there was, and Lazy Mouse, he'd just be running around in the sun, having a bite from a berry, throwing the rest away. There was loads, it was never going to run out. Industrious Mouse, he'd have a berry, sure, but he'd eat it all, and he'd put one away for a colder season. He knew. Lazy Mouse, he'd be fucking running about, sunbathing, eating, chewing, throwing the rest away. Industrious Mouse went, oh, be careful, Lazy Mouse, because come winter, oh, fuck off, you square. The fall comes, same sort of pattern. The last of the berries, he's chewing there, throwing the rest away, he's just like chilling out, he's kicking through the leaves. You can't see him, if you saw the leaves moving, he'd be under the leaves, basically. You'd go, what's that? It's Lazy Mouse underneath the leaf. If you could go under there, like the Discovery Channel, you'd see Lazy Mouse going, fuck it. Industrious Mouse, he'd be freeze-drying loads of berries, he'd be chopping wood, and he made an axe to chop the wood out of a little twig, and this sliver of flint, which he tied on with a horsehair, thus enabling him to
chop and stockpile fuel. So, winter comes. Different pattern. The ground's hard. There's nothing. There's no fruit. There's no berries. There's no nuts. There's nothing at all on those trees. And he can't find anything. And he's starving. And he's freezing. And he's losing his body weight. And of course, industrious mouse. Now he's in his cottage that he built. Somehow. Roaring log fire. Just sitting there, rocking. On a pebble. Knock at the door. Who's that? Obvious, isn't it? So he goes over to the door. He opens the door. It's Lazy Mouse. And he goes, what do you want? He goes, I'm cold and I'm hungry. I can't find any food and I think I'm going to die. And he goes, well, I did warn you, didn't I? And he goes, yeah. He goes, never mind. Come in here and share with me. Where's the moral there? Fuck around, do what you want, and then scrounge off a do-gooder. That's a terrible moral for children, isn't it? Awful. He told us the one about the boy who cried wolf. Have you heard that? Well, I'm going to tell you again. Boy, in the Bible, I don't know, I haven't got a specific year, have I? Right? Boy, looking after the sheep for the villagers, that's his job. Look after those sheep, boy. You go, all right, yeah. But he gets a bit bored. Probably gets a bit sleepy if he's counting them. Right? And he thinks, oh, I'll have a laugh here. He goes, wolf, wolf. And the villagers come up and they go, where's the wolf? He goes, there's no wolf. They go, oh, you go. So next day, he gets bored again. He thinks, that worked a treat. He's got very little imagination. He goes, I'll do that again. Okay? So he goes, wolf, wolf. Where's the wolf? There's no wolf. Oh, you can't. So the next day, he's sitting there. There really is a wolf. And the wolf comes up and he goes, wolf, 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 wolf. But the villagers don't come. And the wolf eats all the sheep. And we were told the moral of that is never tell a lie. No, it isn't. The moral of that is never tell the same lie twice. Again, a terrible moral for children. Nursery rhymes. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown, which I later learned meant his cranium. I thought his hat fell off. And Jill came tumbling after. And that's a true fable of 16th century lovers who used to go up to the well behind the prying eyes of the villagers and their spouses and have it away. And what's the moral there, though? Don't fuck around with sluts or you get your head caved in. How is that applicable to 5-year-olds? I have never worked out the moral to Humpty Dumpty. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. All I can think is, don't sit on a wall if you're an egg. But again, how is that applicable to a 5-year-old human? I mean, you tell that to a group of 5, oh, so don't sit on a wall if you're an egg. Oh, well, what do you mean if I'm an egg? I'm not an egg. It doesn't make sense. If I'm none of us are eggs. If there was an egg there, it wouldn't make sense. Because you go to the egg, don't sit on a wall. You go, I'm an egg, I can't hear you, I've got nothing. I've got no ears, no eyes, I don't know what the fuck. What? Don't sit on a wall. I can't fucking hear, I've got nothing. I'm in nothingness. I can't fucking climb walls for a start, so... Don't send horses to perform medical procedures. Of course they couldn't put him together again. They've got no dexterity whatsoever. They can't sew to save their life. They've got no thumbs, let alone opposable thumbs. Don't send a horse. It's delicate. An egg? We've got a cracked egg. Should we send a horse? Definitely not. Have you got a doctor or someone who works for Fabergé? Don't. We've got like a half-a-ton creature with no fingers. No. Don't send that. Got a four-legged thing with like that. No chance. They can't. Couldn't put on gloves. They couldn't scrub up. They can't. Imagine there's an egg, delicate egg. Horse comes over. Fucked. It couldn't. They wouldn't even think of. Fucked. That's it. They wouldn't even see it. They go over there. What? Fucked. That's it. Wouldn't even. You couldn't explain it to it. Don't send. It's ridiculous. If I had to design the perfect egg-crushing device, it would be a hoof. I need this. It's a cracked egg. I need it crushing completely. Hoof. The hoof's great. Don't send a. Doesn't matter whether they're the king's horses or not. Certainly don't send all of them. That's going to be chaos. If there was one horse with a little bit of nous, he did like 1 year before he got kicked out of Harvard. I know the rudimentaries. They all fuck it. Oh, for fuck's sake. No lads, don't. Oh, they're fucking all over it. Fucked. It's definitely fucked now. One of the first big charities I got involved with was the Terence Higgins Trust, the big AIDS charity, and it was mid to late 80s, and people were like, what's this new thing called AIDS? What is... I mean, it's gone from strength to strength now. It's doing brilliantly. It's gone global. Got its own day and everything. 1st of December, World AIDS Day. I don't think it'll ever pick up like Christmas. We don't do anything in our house. There's no decorations. But I discovered something. You're still learning. The first HIV virus was a combination of 2 separate viruses that combined in rhesus monkeys, and it made this rudimentary form of AIDS. And it was fatal to them, but this was passed to chimpanzees. Sometimes chimps would get a bloodlust and eat a rhesus monkey, and it evolved and mutated in chimps. And because we're 98.6% genetically identical to a chimpanzee, it was able to be passed to humans. And the first human contracted AIDS when he was chopping up chimp meat and cut his finger, although that's the excuse I'd have given. You'd have to come up with something, wouldn't you? You go to the doctor and you go, oh, I feel terrible, doc. The doctor goes, oh, I'm not surprised. You go, is it ME? Worse than ME. You wish you had ME. You shouldn't be laughing about it. He's got terrible news. No, terrible doctor. You're the first human to contract AIDS. Is that bad? Can be. Still laughing. You shouldn't... How would I got that? 2 ways. 1, you were fucking a chimp up the arse. Fucking a chimp up the arse? Me? No way. How else could I have got it? Oh, I don't know, you could have been chopping a chimp up, cut your finger, that one. Choppy, chimpy finger, one. I bet he went straight out to the jungle and found that chimp and went, you gave me AIDS. Oh, what? You gave me AIDS. I gave you a blowjob, shush. No, I got AIDS from you. Well, where did I get AIDS from? From eating monkeys. I don't eat monkeys. You're either eating them or fucking them. I was eating them. But psychology, psychiatry, neuroscience, it's still in its infancy. And we still know so little about the brain. And 150 years ago, we knew nothing. It was all guesswork, right? And, everything was just mental. If you weren't a white,
sort of heterosexual, married Christian man, right? If you deviated too far from that, mental. They just went mental, like that. Like homosexuality, mental illness, you were put in an asylum for life, or worse, tortured. Women who fell pregnant out of wedlock, mental, asylum for life, right? And now we understand things more, we're more tolerant, I think it's going too far the other way, though, because now nothing's mental. You can't find somewhere that nothing is considered mental. Everything is a syndrome or an addiction or a preference, right? I could have my legs removed, have wheels put on, identify as a pram, right? And if you say I'm mental, you're a bigot, right? Now, that's a bit hack, that joke, now, isn't it? Oh, I identify as a thing then, right? It's a bit old-fashioned, right? But I'm going to leave it in to annoy people, right? Because that's the bit that'll offend people. Same as humanity. I talk about AIDS, famine, cancer, the Holocaust, rape, paedophilia. But no, the one thing you mustn't joke about is identity politics. The one thing you should never joke about is the trans issue, right? They just want to be treated equally. I agree. That's why I include them. You know? But they know I'm joking about all the other stuff, but they go, no, he must mean that, right? Like a joke is a window to the comedian's true soul. That's just not the case. I'll take on any view to make the joke funniest. I'll pretend to be right-wing. I'll pretend to be left-wing. I'll pretend to be clever. I'll pretend to be stupid. Whatever makes the joke funnier without prejudice. Okay, full disclosure, in real life, of course I support trans rights. I support all human rights, and trans rights are human rights, you know? Live your best life. Use your preferred pronouns. Be the gender that you feel that you are. But meet me halfway, ladies. Lose the cock. That's all I'm saying. That's all.
When I first moved in with my girlfriend, 20-odd years ago, our first flat together, it was a horrible place. It was in King's Cross, and it was horrible area, King's Cross, a seedy road, seedy block, horrible little thing. It was a rip-off, but it's all we could afford. It was one room, just one room, but it had like a little kitchenette area. So what we decided to do, we moved the single bed sort of into there. So we had a lounge, it was like a one-bedroom flat. So at night, we're in a space this big. The bed literally just fit in. I had to scrape it down the wall to get it in, and it came over the doorway a bit, and in bed, I could open the fridge. The fridge was there, the cooker was there, and the sink was there, okay? No toilet. The toilet was a shared toilet with all the other flats in the block, and it was 2 floors down. So what wins in the middle of the night when I need a wee? Do you know what I mean? Putting on trousers and going outside, or just pop into the sink? That one. And I remember, 20-odd years ago, Jane in a sleepy state saying, oh, at least take the dishes out first. I didn't. I used to get hold of the bottom plate and lift them all up and wee straight down the plug hole. Have you seen all the ghost hunter shows? Years and years. Celebrity ghost hunter. All around the world. Thousands and thousands of hours of footage. They've never seen a fucking ghost. It's all like, oh, what was that? Was it that I was just the... No, not the... Oh, did you hear that? Was it just that? Was it you? Oh, no. Imagine if wildlife programmes were like that. Imagine watching David Attenborough all these years and everybody goes, here... on Kilimanjaro, we see the... Oh, no, it's not. And by the banks of the Limpopo, the elusive... Oh, it's not. You'd stop watching the... The pedo hunter shows, on the other hand, there's usually accompanying the crew just in case, you know what I mean? Particularly if it's a BBC production. Oh, shut up.
Because I would love to try stand-up. I'd love to do stand-up.
I think you'd be good. I think you'd be good.
You say that, but when I try and write a joke, I get the opening bit. I say, that's a funny idea. Madonna's got divorced. And then I think... Yeah.
Where's my writers?
You know, I don't... Well, yeah, I don't...
I never knew you were this weird.
Really?
No, because you kept it... We worked together for a couple of days. And
I know.
You're absolutely mental.
In a nice way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so... If you do win an award tonight,
Don't use it as a platform to make a political speech, right? You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world. Most of you spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg. So, if you win, right, come up, accept your little award, thank your agent and your God, and... So...
Oh, no funny business. There you go.
Not on this show.
Oh, no, it's a joke. That's a joke.
What are you wearing? I love that.
You're turning up in a grey, something they wouldn't even have in TK Maxx. Look at it.
How much time you spend in London? I know you got a house here. How much time do you spend here? How much time do you spend in London?
Well, between the two, probably a bit more in London, but you know, I like to come here as often as I can.
Aren't the taxes bloody awful in London? In England, isn't it just crazy?
Well, unlike you, I like paying tax because it's giving something back.
Stop all the signs say, chill, bro. Sorry. Yeah, you're not giving them. You know, they come out, they park their cars, they've got babysitters, they haven't paid. Why would you? That'd be mental. But if I was you, I'd be going, thank you so much to these people, and giving them. You know what I mean?
A new series of extras starts this week. Congratulations on getting a second series, essentially, but also
congratulations on already fucking it up. It's next week, you moron. It was shoddy. It was, I mean, you know, you didn't write it, and that's... But, do it like it's your... Do it like you were clever enough to come up with this joke yourself, okay?
For everybody, you went to the Achilles heel of everybody. Like, when you tell a woman who's, you know, that it's, you know, she looks old, that just hits a woman deep in the...
Who did I say that to?
I think you said something about the Sex and the City women, like about...
I said it was airbrushed, and I said, we know how old you are, girls. I saw one of you in an episode of Bonanza.
Okay. Come on, say it all.
No, I was saying, why lie? There's nothing wrong with being 50 or looking 50.
But you're not a woman. I get you.
But I don't think you lose your sensuality at 50. Our next presenter is the star of the hilarious comedy The Martian. Oh, I nearly died. Right. He's also the only person who Ben Affleck hasn't been unfaithful to. Please welcome Matt Damon.
Thank you. I do look a bit more like Parker these days. I don't know, that's the problem. You're getting me confused.
He's kept himself in trim. Look at you. Undo the button. Go on, let it hang out. Look at this. Look at this.
Nothing
no,
there. There's nothing
right.
there.
Fucking let it go.
What?
Look at that. What? I've only got a day to live. I said, what do you want to do? And then when that didn't happen, what is it? And then when that couldn't happen, make a wish foundation. No.
I'd like to go on Jimmy Fallon, please.
And so, yeah, that's not what you said.
No,
I didn't. You want to do something else, and then
I said anything but Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
I mean, you always work together. Do you ever go on holiday together?
Fuck off!
Jesus Christ! Can you imagine that? Oh, it would be horrible. Just think of the pictures. Me looking pretty cool and sort of tanned. Buff, yeah. And the thing, naked, he looks like one of those baby fish. You can actually see through his body. You're one of about 5 people that have been invited round my house. I'm a very sort of private person, apart from, like, you know, workman and postman.
You make me feel special.
Yeah.
I've had Alan Carr, a postman round here. Refuse collector.
Yeah, well, at least they're useful.
I can't believe this. You had a birthday, and is it 50 years old? You're not 50 years old. Are you really 50 years old?
50, yeah.
I mean, you look tremendous. You look like you're 35. If somebody had said to me, how old? I said 35. 35, honestly. You look exactly like you did the first, except you're in better shape. Remember you used to come out, you're sort of pear-shaped when you come out? Now you look great.
You didn't say that at the time, though, did you?
No, I didn't know what to think.
Well, no. You said, well, you look good now because I looked awful before. That's all you're saying. I needed you to say it before. You're pear-shaped. I'd have worked out faster. But now...
But how do you feel at 50? Good, right?
Well, yeah. I'm grumpier. I think I'm grumpier.
Grumpier?
Yeah. I understand you a lot more now. Do you know what I mean? No.
Say Star Trek memorabilia because I love Star Trek.
Oh, such a nerd.
Have you never been in a Star Trek? No, I've never been in a Star Trek, but I love the original series. So I have, I have the Gorn head from the original series from the episode Arena, where
I know.
I'm just nodding.
Oh, the Gorn head.
The Gorn head. Okay. I have. What the Gorn head?
Every time you're on the program, I try to do this, and it always comes out very clumsy. Let me try it one more time. Possibly the best television show ever. What do you think?
Oh, possibly. What do you mean?
What have you named your private parts?
Pamela. Even on the day, on the way to the red carpet, we're in the limo, just to wind her up, I said, oh, I'm going to start off with a funny little one-liner, just an old-fashioned joke. She went, oh, what? I said, what did the deaf, dumb and blind orphan get for Christmas? And Jane went, I don't know. I said, cancer. I didn't do it. So you're getting offended at a joke that doesn't exist. So I'd never say that in public. So to anyone who mattered. Anyway, so don't... As it was, I didn't have to worry about offending anyone because it just happened, so... And the big controversy last time I did it was a Caitlyn Jenner joke, right? Oh, outrage on Twitter the next day. And by outrage, I mean a couple of people going, it was transphobic. It wasn't transphobic in the slightest. It was a joke about a trans person, but the joke had nothing to do with that aspect of her existence. And that's the other thing about offence. People get offended when they mistake the subject of a joke with the actual target, and they're not necessarily the same. I'll tell you the joke. You make your own minds up. Right. So... It's live, so they go, and now your host for the 68th Annual Golden Globe Awards, please welcome Ricky Gervais. They come on, and they're all clapping, all the actors are looking up, smiling at me nervously. It's brilliant, right? So I just go, relax, I'm going to be nice tonight. I've changed. Not as much as Bruce Jenner, obviously. And I go, now Caitlyn Jenner, of course, and what a year she's had, became a role model for trans people everywhere, bravely breaking down barriers and destroying stereotypes. She didn't do a lot for women drivers, right? So that's a clever joke, and I'll tell you why, right? It's layered. No, listen, right? The subject of that joke is stereotypes. I'm playing with the notion of stereotypes, right? So I start off saying, she's a real woman. Some would say a liberal, progressive attitude. Then I go, oh, if she's a real woman, I hit them with the old-fashioned reactionary stereotype. She must be a bad driver then, right? And the target of the joke is a celebrity killing someone in their car. Let's not forget that, shall we? A celebrity killing someone in their car, running home and popping on a dress. That's the target of the joke, just so we're clear, okay? She was interviewed about a week later at some press conference for a show she was launching, now cancelled. And the press were around and one of them said, what do you think of the Ricky Gervais joke? And she went, maybe I should host the Golden Globes, right? And they tweeted that, and they atted me in, because they want a celebrity feud, you know? It was clickbait, so I rose to the bait, obviously. I just sent back, let her host, just don't let her drive. another website that was in the room, Entertainment Weekly, they tweeted a different headline, and they added me in as well. And their headline was, Caitlyn finally breaks silence over Ricky Gervais. I just sent back, at last. She always breaks too late. Bring it on. Bring it on. But I'm a considered comedian. I like my jokes to be accurate and my targets to be fair. So I was engaging these people. I was saying, why is it transphobic? And they were saying, it's about a trans person. I said, well, that's ridiculous. That's like saying a joke about Bill Cosby is automatically racist. It depends on the joke. But I was talking to them, I'm willing to learn, and I found out my crime was that I dead-named her. Now, I'd never heard that term, you know, before a day after the Golden Globes, and that was saying her old name, and even acknowledging that she used to be a man. But she did. I saw him on the Olympic Games. It was decathlon. It was in everything. He was all over the place. Shot put and pole vault. He won a medal. He was famous. He was on telly all the time. But, you know, a big, famous man with a huge... I don't know, but I mean, I'm guessing he's a big... But I've learnt my lesson. Now, I'd never dead name her now. Now I know it's wrong. I'd never dead name her now. But, like, years ago... when, you know, she was a man. That was years ago, I'm saying, right? And she went to the doctor, right? And knocked on the door, and the doctor went, come in. This is years ago. I was saying, I'd never dead name her now, but this is like a flashback before anyone... Do you know what So, like, come in. And he went, hello, Bruce Jenner, because that was his name then. The doctor, you know, this was years ago, and the doctor went... Oh, I'm Bruce Jenner, you big old... How you doing, boy, you fucker? How you doing? You big old lunt. Oh, how you doing, boy? Come here, you fucker. How you doing, Brucey boy? You all right? Right? And Bruce Jenner, because that was his name, this is years ago, right? So Bruce Jenner went, yeah, not too bad, doctor, yeah. Not too bad, right? And I thought, what can I do for you, Bruce? You fucker. How you doing, boy? And Bruce Jenner went, because that was his name, Bruce Jenner went, look at that. And they went, oh, come on, Bruce Jenner, you know the rules. He uses his whole name every time for some reason, I don't know why. Come on, Bruce Jenner, you fucker, you know the rules. You can't bring your big old pole vaulting pole in here, mate, you know. And Bruce Jenner went, no, that's not my pole vaulting pole, that's my enormous penis. And I thought, oh, right, yeah, seeing as it is your penis, you can bring it in here. But you should have left your shot puts outside. And Bruce Jenner went, that was his name for 58 years, I think. He went, no, they're not my shot puts, they're my enormous testicles. That's where I keep my testosterone and my spunk and shit, right? And the doctor went, oh, yeah, that makes perfect. I am a medical man, and that you're a big bloke. Oh, you fucker. How you doing, boy? You're a big... You're big, and you would have a big old cock and balls. They're beautiful, but a bit familiar. And I go, no, but you must be very proud of them, Bruce. Bruce Jenner went, oh, this is going to surprise you, doctor. I want to get rid of them. And the doctor went, what? Why? Ah, they get in the way. Get in the way of what? Fucking driving, for one thing. So I'm engaging these people, and I'm saying, but I had to say her old name because that gets me into the joke. I say, I've changed, not as much as Bruce Jenner, and then I do the actual joke. I went, no, this is my second crime. I say, she hasn't changed, right? She's always been a woman because she's always identified as a woman, and that means she's a woman. Fine, if that's the rules, you are what you feel. If you feel you're a woman, that makes you a woman. Cool. You know, I'm not one of these bigots that think having all that done is science going too far. You know? In fact, I don't think it's going far enough. Because I've always identified as a chimp, right? Well, I am a chimp. If I say I'm a chimp, I am a chimp, you know. pre-op, but, and don't ever dead name me. Don't ever call me Ricky Gervais again. From now on, you call me Bobo. So, I'm gonna have species realignment. I'm halfway there, to be honest. I'm sort of short with short legs and long arms. I sort of stoop like that. My back's getting hairier by the day. I've got fangs. I love nuts. Oh, I love nuts. And once, I was at the zoo, and I could tell people were looking at me, so I just started masturbating. So, I am a chimp, right? I am a chimp, if I say I'm a chimp. And so I've got to live as a chimp for a year, then have hormones, get me all nice and hairy. That'd be lovely, right? I'm going to stay a male chimp, so I can keep all that, right? A male heterosexual chimp, keep the same girlfriend. Jane will be happy. She loves me. She loves chimps, so, you know. And I reckon that's got to be easier for a man to turn into a chimp. We're so close. Than for a man to turn into a woman in many ways. You know what I mean? A bit of hair and a top lip like that, as opposed to your cock and balls ripped off and a hole gouged out into... No, I'm not a doctor, but that is the gist of it. I know which one I'd rather have done. And I'm not saying I think chimps are better than women. No way. Right? Any ladies here, right? I can't see you, but to me, every single one of you is equal to a chimp. So I'm gonna have all that done. So hair with that, right? I'll do all that. I'll do all the. I'll retain the ability to speak English, like in emergencies. If I'm talking to Jane, I'm going. She's going. What is it, Bo? What is it, Bobo? You left the fucking oven on. There's a fire. What, are you telling me that if Caitlyn Jenner was being chased by a wolf, right, and there was a big fence, but she had a long pole, she'd revert, she'd be over that fucking easy.